The cosmos is not just empty space devoid of life. It has a soul, and it is this soul of the cosmos that is the origin point of our individual soul. We are all birthed from the great cosmic womb of the Mother, the great cosmic Holy Mother herself. We all come from the starry cosmos, the unseen dimensions of spirit, the center point from which the world is dreamed awake. The Holy Mother herself is associated with the very source of creation, the great void, the great mystery, the 0 point field. The Holy Mother is not a mythic being unto herself, but she is a living field of cosmic consciousness, the source womb from which all creation arises. This is not separate from us either. We are fractals of that same womb consciousness, individuated through time, through lineage, into form. As we descend into form, we fractalize as aspects of source. And so we have this unique experience as an individual expression of God source, Holy Mother, Holy Father, God source. So the depths of our own souls are the depths of the cosmos themselves. When we descend through the veil of forgetfulness, we forget not just what life is, we forget what our soul is. We forget our soul. It is not in us. We are of the soul. We are in and of the spirit of the cosmic Holy Mother herself. So the Holy Mother is not out there amongst the stars in the celestial realms. She is the very fabric of the cosmos, of living consciousness, the very pulse within our own cells. So in this video, Cosmic Consciousness and the Divine Feminine, this is video 6 of the Divine Feminine Awakening series. We're going to go deeper into the Holy Mother and how we restore our connection with her as we have become quite disconnected from the true frequency of the true organic Holy Mother herself. And again, I am Amanda. If you are new here, welcome. I am an oracle and a divine feminine Grail mastery guide and mentor. So in this video, we're going to go deeper into the Holy Mother and how the Mother downsteps through the different dimensions, through the different layers of cosmic creation, through the galactic lineages, and descends all the way down into human embodied form. So we're going to look at the rose lineages as well, the priestess streams, the Blue Rose stream, the Lemurian priestesses, the Mer priestesses, and how they all descend from the cosmic mother herself. So let's begin with the cosmic womb itself and dive into the Milky Way, the celestial Ouroboros, the primal serpent that was seen as the protector of Egypt in ancient Egyptian times. The Milky Way was seen as the serpent of light residing in the heavens. So obviously the serpent has become quite overlaid and distorted in many forms. However, the serpent was in its original organic essence associated with the pure divine feminine energy, the Kundalini life force, for example. So the serpents of fire awaken along the Jed column. This is the ascending frequency of consciousness, the ascending Kundalini. This is the journey of the awakening and ascension. So when you look at the way the energy rises, it resembles a serpent, which is why the serpent was a symbol closely associated with and connected with the divine feminine, because the divine feminine Shakti currents would rise in the awakening ascending individual to ignite the pineal gland, to ignite that connection with the celestial realms and the cosmos, with Holy Mother, Holy Father, God source. So the Milky Way is obviously associated with milk, she who gives nourishment, because obviously women, when they give birth, they nourish their infants with milk. So she is the great nourisher. She is constantly in the state of offering milk and honey. So of course this brings to mind the promised land of milk and honey, heaven heaven on earth. How do we arrive there? This is an internal state when we are reconnected with the Holy Mother, Holy Father as one. So there is this essence, this energy of joy and celebration that comes through the pure frequency of the Holy Mother as well. So, getting into the frequencies and essences of the Holy Mother carries a very, very beautiful sapphire star essence. So, of course, the womb of the cosmos in its darkness represents the womb of the woman descending into the cave, into the womb space that brings us into our heart, into our womb, into the depths of our consciousness as we go internally to receive the guidance, the wisdom, the intuitions of the mother consciousness. So this sapphire essence then brings us into the frequency of the blue tonalities. And the mother is actually very associated with the blue tones, the aqua tones, white, diamond, and emerald tones. It's interesting that we associate female consciousness with pink, and actually it is more accurate to say that she carries that essence of the blue. Think of the blue, the pale blue rose of Mother Mary, the Virgin Mary. So the mother consciousness downsteps through the layers of creation from the cosmos to the galactic levels to the planetary realms and then into human embodiment itself. So we have the Holy Mother Emerald Ray, this white diamond core and sapphire essence, and then she downsteps or descends, we could say, into the Elohai, Elohim angelic lineages. And then we go a step further into Andromeda. The Andromedan essence is very much associated with the divine feminine. And then it downsteps into Sirius, which is very connected to Isis and the ancient Egyptian priestess lineages. And then Venus. And this blue rose architecture then descended into Lemuria, which is one of the earliest civilizations, depending on who you ask, that was in form of some kind. Some believe that our form in Lemuria was very ethereal, more plasmic light bodies. We were in our light bodies, and we very much carried this mother consciousness. So in Lemuria, there were priestesses who carried this mer energy, the mermaids, but it is this Mary, this oceanic consciousness that is represented by the term Mary. And so Mary was actually a title, right? We got into that in one of the previous videos. So this water priestess lineage then moved into Atlantis, and then we had the fall of Atlantis, where things began to get distorted as we descended into individual form and we individuated more. The fracture began to anchor in the collective human consciousness. The patriarchy took over, and we also had the takeover of the dark energies. And we are in the process now of purifying and remembering. As we're in this individuated consciousness, we're now remembering those codes that we brought down through these ancient priestess lineages that really descended ultimately from the cosmos itself, from the Holy Mother herself. So we are in the process of remembering our intimate connection with the Holy Mother herself. And of course, the feminine consciousness has been overlaid, suppressed, hijacked. So again, in the previous videos, I was talking about the feminine wounding and the dark mother overlay, the false dark mother overlay. And so this is the journey, the process of reclamation that we are undergoing. We have to descend into the underworld to reclaim the aspects, the soul fragments, soul retrieval energy, right? Coming through as we go through this journey. And then we remember ourselves. We bring the pieces of self back together to return into wholeness. And the frequency of the Christ is coming through to assist us with this journey, to assist with the journey of redemption. So the different star seed lineages that many are connecting with and feeling they have some remembrance of represent different streams of divine intelligence, unique aspects of the mother consciousness itself. We also have like the blue ray, the gold ray, the magenta ray, for example, the emerald ray. These are not meant to create hierarchy or separation. They're all different facets of the one divine prism that is refracting through the universe. It's like the spectrum of the diamond, the light refracting through the diamond to create the prism, to create the different rays of consciousness. So, what we're experiencing in the collective awakening is a lot of people are awakening to this higher frequency energy, and they're bypassing a lot of the journey of reclamation. So people get activated and they see the light, but it's that empty light. So what we're doing is anchoring in to the truth of how we restore this light, right? It's meant to be the diamond light that is full of the entire spectrum of consciousness, of reality. So it's quite beautiful when we descend into the darkness to reclaim the aspects of self, because we begin to then shine like the brilliant diamond, that whole light, that light of wholeness radiating from within. So the Andromedan coding is the origination point of the Aquael priestesses. That's one term that some people might resonate with. Andromeda had these very, very pure crystalline aquamarine waters. So if you feel a connection with Andromeda, or that aqua essence, that crystalline, that pure crystalline watery essence, it could be that you have a connection with the Andromedan coding. And then Lemuria itself is an ancient civilization, based on legend and myth at this point, that predates Atlantis, that is really now stirring in the consciousness of many on the path of awakening, particularly those who have been called on the path of the priestess and are embodying the divine feminine consciousness, as Lemuria was a very, very heart-centered civilization that represented the mother, that represented that feminine consciousness. Their frequency really exalted the feminine energy. Very heart-based, very flowy, full of love and beauty and harmony. And this is the essence that we are returning to in an individuated physical form. We are integrating those codes of remembrance into this physical individuated form that has created separation, and now we're being called to reunify our consciousness through this individuated aspect. Lemuria really was an Edenic reality, a veritable Garden of Eden where people operated in this frequency of love and harmony. So just as the truth of the divine feminine energy has been suppressed and repressed from our consciousness, the truth of our origins has also likewise been suppressed. The history of humanity itself and ancient civilizations has been buried and suppressed through the veil of consciousness. And it's really, again, a veil of ignorance to our truth. I did a podcast episode separate from this series on the ego death, the veil, and the firmament. And so we are in this process of collective remembrance as the veil itself is dissolving. And if you happen to see this video before November 6th, Solar Samhain in 2025, I will be hosting an activation, which is always going to be available through the Inner Temple and separately. So if you see this after, the replay will be available. But we're going to go deeper into dissolving the aspects of self that are rooted in separation. So this collective amnesia and the avoidance has perpetuated the illusions of fear and separation itself. So we're going to examine the aspects of self that are still operating with these filters of perception, and really anchor in that remembrance of our true cosmic origins and our connection with our divine cosmic essence. So, our galactic origins are similarly coming to light as we retrieve soul memories and aspects through trauma healing and integration. We're weaving a tapestry of truth that, on one level, seems utterly fantastical and perhaps even unimaginable. And yet, simultaneously, many are feeling this deep stirring of remembrance within that tells us. But of course, it was always meant to be like this. It was always meant to be this beautiful and harmonic joy of living, living with Earth as a playground, not a prison, and not even a school. This is what we're here to re-anchor. This is the blueprint. And of course, the journey has been as it has for a purpose, for the collective evolution of the cosmos itself, not just humanity. So the Pleiades, Sirius, Andromeda, Lyra, Arcturus, Orion, Venusian ascended masters are coming to the fore. And there are others. There are others. But those are some of the common ones that people are beginning to remember. And I want to be clear that higher dimensional interdimensionals doesn't mean that they're all pure. So we also still have to exercise a great deal of discernment when we connect with these aspects of self. There was a lot of falls, a lot of galactic war consciousness that helped to create this absolute bottom of the bottom level of density on Earth. So, what we're doing as we restore unity consciousness here on Earth, we are grappling with those timelines, those fallen timelines of war consciousness that have origins in the galactic realms and galactic timelines, if you want to look at it that way. So, this journey of remembrance and restoration is not just for ourselves. It's not even just for humanity. It's literally for the entire cosmic civilization. Everybody benefits when Earth ascends, truly, because everything is connected through the fabric of the mother. So, until every child, including Earth herself, is restored to her wholeness, is restored to a remembrance, restored to her divinity, the rest of the cosmos will suffer to some level until every child is saved, every child is restored and redeemed. So, those of us who carry this coding, we descend in order to ascend, in order to reflect to others this remembrance, this path. Those of us who have priestess coding in particular, or lineage of the rose coding, Lemurian priestess streams coming through. So, one of the earliest embodiments on earth was the divine feminine. So, one of the earliest embodiments on earth of the divine feminine was in Lemuria. And so, we are being called forward. We are being called to step forward in our leadership and our remembrance. This is when the sacred feminine was still in harmony with the natural world and the crystalline grids. So, crystal technology was part of this civilization. And I've had visuals, as have others, as I've been sharing this. They're saying, oh my gosh, I've seen the same thing of temples, crystalline temples, healing temples where there were crystals in pools of water. I have seen this in Atlantis, and I believe the Atlantean temples were built on the same blueprint as the Lemurian temples because the Lemurian priestesses brought the crystalline technology to Atlantis. So we're integrating and reintegrating these crystalline streams of remembrance. So the Blue Rose or Mer lineages are those who hold these original codes of the womb grail. Sacred sexuality as well as remembrance of divine union. So this Grail lineage remembrance goes beyond Avalon, goes beyond Mary Magdalene, but this is how it all connects and weaves through the different fractals of expression, through the different civilizations and epochs. So these frequencies later resurfaced in Egyptian, Essene, and Magdalene lineages, of course. So this is the continuation of that same current of the cosmic mother's love. And I want to note Hathor here because she is not as well known as Isis, but she is one of the Egyptian goddesses that represented the Divine Mother. And she represented the embodiment of the Milky Way, but her frequency was is one of, if you still want to connect with her original pure organic essence, joy, beauty, love, abundance, dance, laughter. These are the energies that were filtered down through her priestesses, that were anchored onto the planet through her priestesses in her temples. And her temple in Egypt is actually painted blue. So there's another clue for us of that divine remembrance of this cosmic essence, the cosmic energies that carry these very specific frequencies of the Holy Mother. So I just want to reiterate as well that Mer is a root word that relates to water and star. So it symbolizes this watery plasmic consciousness of the celestial mother itself. So again, this is where the Mer priestess lineages originated. They're water priestesses, carrying that water consciousness, the waters that heal, the living waters of life, the living waters of the womb. So it's very much connected to this crystalline cosmic womb consciousness. And of course, this is the energy that I'm going to be working with and weaving through these light codes in the cosmic womb. So this is very much a journey of deep remembrance that we are moving through as we embody our divine sovereignty. So again, these cosmic truths connect back to the human body itself. The womb is a reflection of the cosmic void. I have referred to it as the black diamond womb portal of infinite possibilities. And I see a lot of the time a pure crystalline essence in the womb, like a crystalline cave. And so this is part of the visuals that are coming through for the cosmic womb itself, actually. I'm not going to give too much away. And sometimes they anchor as I go through the journey, as I channel these activations. Sometimes I get these sparks of inspiration, but the activations are largely channeled in the moment. And they're always really beautiful and magical in many cases, but also powerful because we're going to be doing clearing as well of dark mother overlays and imprints, trauma imprints, and restoring our relationship with both the cosmic mother and the Holy Father, the cosmic Holy Mother and Holy Father. So we've got to, in order to restore harmony, we've got to restore that essence of union within, which includes the masculine consciousness. So any aspect of self that is holding on to fallen masculine energies that keeps us out of our power, to reclaim our sovereignty, we have to integrate this restoration of the Holy Father within as well. So the heart carries the coding for union, and the heart itself is the bridge between heaven on earth. We become the conduit, the vessel, and the bridge for these light codes to anchor, this cosmic consciousness to anchor onto earth. And the nervous system then becomes the conduit through which we can safely receive these higher frequencies. So again, a lot of what we're going to be working on is this nervous system regulation to be able to hold these higher frequencies of consciousness, because if we are dysregulated, we will be disembodied. And so the journey is one of embodiment. And how do we do that? We integrate the trauma and regulate the nervous system to be able to hold these higher frequencies of consciousness. So I do invite you to explore the Cosmic Mother. If this is calling to you on some level, trust that we are going to reconnect and restore our connection with her as a living intelligence that can be felt, breathed, and embodied. So the breath of the cosmos is coming to mind right now. And yes, we're going to be working with the breath, with breath work as part of the process, but very much this somatic embodiment. It's meant to be gentle and nourishing as well, to restore that essence of the mother as nourishing. This container is meant to be a sacred ceremonial container of nourishment of the body, the heart, and the soul. So reconnecting with the cosmic mother is part of all of humanity's ascension, not just the divine feminine restoration, but the restoration of the feminine principle within creation itself, within all of creation, within the masculine, within the feminine. And so those of us carrying these specific lineage codings, these priestess codings who feel this stirring within us now, it is incumbent upon us to take up the torch, if you will, and follow the calling, trusting our hearts to step forward on this path of remembrance, because as we do so, our light will begin to activate and spark that remembrance within others. So as we wrap up, I would like to share that there is a Gnostic text where the great Mother Queen announces herself as Source, the creatrix of all life, the fertile womb through which all life animates. So this ancient wisdom is returning to our collective consciousness. So if you're feeling this resonance, I do invite you to explore the cosmic womb, where these frequencies will be integrated through embodiment, womb sovereignty, and nervous system repair, working specifically with that crystalline blue rose as well for the womb restoration. It's one of my favorite one-on-one sessions I do. So that is also available one-on-one sessions for the crystalline womb healing and restoration. And I do soul retrieval and soul blueprint activations as well for the one-on-one offers. And finally, dissolving the veil activation for a little taster of my work is a really beautiful way to begin to experience the way these wisdom codes and frequencies integrate into your being. And also, the inner temple. There is an option to join the inner temple and the cosmic womb together as a package offer, with a 12-pay plan available for that. And inside the inner temple, you get access to numerous additional activations and 6 other courses. The cosmic womb itself contains a separate additional bonus course and lots of other beauty and magic coming through. So there's over 100 videos inside the inner temple at this point, plus dozens of additional transmissions, masterclasses, activations. So there is so much there to support you on your journey. So thank you for being here along for the ride with me in this series. So in the next video, we are going to continue with the Holy Mother Sophia's dream, the Christos-Sophia union, the divine union coding. So Grail union is the ultimate journey of mastery that we are on as we embark on this path, whether you call it Grail union or divine union. This is ultimately the journey that so many of us are feeling called on, whether we know what it is at first or not. So I'm really excited to get into that one. We are nearing completion of this very beautiful journey. So thank you for being here, onward and upward in love and light as we journey home to the heart of truth. And I'll see you in the next one.